Good morning, good morning, good morning, my fearless networking friends. Todd Falcone here for a Wednesday. I do believe it's Wednesday morning. Fairly quick little broadcast here. Wanted to have a chat with you about the importance of being a good sponsor, right? And the repercussions of not being such a great sponsor. So, part of this was initiated by a conversation that I had yesterday with somebody, but I think one of the things that you have to look at is this. Like if you look at the word responsibility. Now I know responsibility and sponsor, I don't know that they're necessarily associated words, but when you look at the word responsibility, it's like sponsor is right in the middle of, or at least spons is right in the middle of responsibility. I don't know the root or the Latin or where that word originated, but I do know that the fact that, I don't know, response is in the middle of responsibility. And that means that you as a network marketing sponsor or enroller have a degree of responsibility to help your new people, not to do it for them, but to help your new people figure the game out. That's our role as a sponsor in a network marketing or direct sales business. So what I want to say about that is, and like for example, this is the conversation that I had yesterday. And this guy's very high level. Like he's made over 7 figures in network marketing, joined an organization, and his communication to the enrolling sponsor was, look, I don't need you to do anything for me. I've got extensive experience. I just want to make sure that I'm working with an active upline that is, fully engaged and going to be available for me. Not, I mean, when I need you, right? It's just like, if I need some help or if I got a question, that you're available. And this person's like, yeah, that's me. That's 100% me. I totally, yep, that's me. You got it. And unfortunately, in this case, that didn't happen. And that person was not that person and became a complete disappearing act. And, this guy is like, essentially, and some of you guys have been faced with the situation yourself, essentially on their own. I mean, he's fortunate to have the experience and the know-how and, the past history and all of that. But even somebody who's got, experience, they still want to be part of a culture, of a group of people. That's like the idea of camaraderie and working together, and together we're building this business. Not, we as sponsors are not there ever to do the business for anybody, but to assist them in doing it. And unfortunately, the downside of not being a good sponsor is you lose business, pure and simple. And when you lose business, most of the business you lose, you don't even know that you lose it, because they just get pissed off and they're like, okay, well, this person made a promise that they didn't keep. And how many times have we seen that happen in business or outside of business? It's like you make a promise, I don't remember where I heard this, but it's, a promise made is a debt unpaid, right? So if you make a promise, you keep the promise. In an ideal situation, you over deliver on what you promised the person, right? So and I think this would be a good thing for you to write down. If you, ask yourself this question: in what way can I wow people? In what way can I make people go, oh, wow, holy smokes, this, this person has delivered far beyond, way beyond what I ever expected them to do. That's a recipe for winning. But, and here's the thing for newer people. I want to say this because you might have started yesterday or last week and you don't have the expertise and the know-how and the track record and all of that. And how can I be a good sponsor when I don't even, I haven't really even made any money yet, or whatever your deal is. You can still be there. And I think that anytime that we enroll somebody, and honestly, if you look at your policies and procedures, which most people never do, you sign up as an independent distributor for a network marketing or direct sales company, and you have a contractual obligation as a representative of that company to do certain things. And most network marketers, like, I don't know the percentages, but most, they don't read their policies and procedures. They don't know what their independent agreement is between the company that they're representing in themselves. And there is an agreement. There's a legal agreement. It's in your policies and procedures. I suggest that you read them. One of the things that I know is in pretty much every single legal document with your agreement is that when you enroll somebody as a sponsor, you have the responsibility of being there for those individuals to assist them in, figuring it out, not to do it for them, never to do it for them, but to simply sign somebody up and say, sayonara, see you later, hope it works for you, is just it's not going to work. It's a bad recipe. And again, even if you're brand new, you can still you can point them in the right direction to access training or access how-tos, basic getting started stuff, being available for them if they've got challenges or questions, or where's this thing out, or when's the training, or I need help with this. But to play a disappearing act is terrible. I mean, it's just, and the thing is, nobody can calculate the loss of income. It's like, can any of you afford to lose 7 figures of income? I don't care how much money you're making. Like, you can't afford to lose 7 figures. But the problem is, like, when you're not there, when you're not available, then you end up losing people and you don't even know you lost people. Like the person I'm referring to very likely is going to bail because he was, given a bunch of lip service and has completely been under-delivered upon with regard to the support that he was promised. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm the one. Gone. And I mean, a quick example, like one of the years and years and years ago, when I really began to understand how to build depth in an organization and how to taproot in a leg, I was going through a genealogy report. I remember this is like literally the first time I did it. And this is back in the days with like paper genealogies, and you were on the floor looking at your entire genealogy. There's no back office. There's no internet. And I'm going through the genealogy and I find a guy on my 6th level. And I noticed that he had 35 personally sponsored frontline people to him that came in that previous month. I could see the dates of the enrollments, and there was 35 of them. And I was like, gosh, who's this guy? And I picked up the phone. I said, hey, listen, I introduced myself. I said, Joe, this is Todd Falcone. I'm part of the leadership team here with Company X. And he's like, hey, nice to meet you. I said, listen, great job, man. I mean, I see you recruited 35 people last month. That's an amazing start. And wanted to make myself available to you. If I can help you, here's my phone number. If there's any way I can, he's like, I'm so glad you reached out to me. He goes, I've never heard back from my sponsor. And he never heard from his sponsor. Now, the funny thing is, like, I mean, literally the guy signed him up and disappeared. And had I not reached out to him, he might have stayed. I mean, the guy recruited 35 people with no help, but the chances of him really having stayed were slim and none because he had no connection to anyone in the company. Because the guy that enrolled him was gone, disappeared. See ya. And because I connected with him, made myself available. In fact, I still have a relationship with him to this day. He did really, really well in that business. I think he was in my team for probably 8 years in that company. And as a result, thank God I found the guy. I mean, had I not found the guy, he might have hung out for a couple months, and he was like, oh, I don't have any connection to this company. It's even like my friend, like he has no connection to it's like, okay, the person that he had the connection with is not even there or available for him at all. Like total, like not returning calls, not returning texts, not, having made promises and not delivering upon those promises. So I just want you guys to know that when you personally enroll somebody, there comes a responsibility with it. And the responsibility is for you not to do it for them, but to help them to do it for themselves. And the more skills you have, the more experience you have, the better you are at doing this business, the more you can give, right? In terms of guidance, direction, mentoring, support, all of those things. But even if you're brand new or haven't made any money in network marketing, you can still be like, oh, hey, if you're wondering where that is, you can go here. I don't really know the answer to that question, but I know that they cover it in this training. You can find it here, for example. So, because I just think that, and this is not, I'm doing this because the conversation that took place yesterday, and this is the person that got enrolled, who their sponsor played the disappearing act. Both of them have extensive experience in network marketing. You think that they would know better. Like, I mean, if you're a sponsor and you're so busy that you can't provide support for the person, should you even sponsor that person? I mean, what's the point of sponsoring somebody, enrolling somebody in the business, if you can't even be there to provide the basics of what that person would need in order to figure the game out? So I don't know. I would just kind of look at yourself and go, what kind of sponsor am I being? How can I improve how I do things with my personally enrolled people? How can I create a culture within my organization where everybody, because of the experience that they had with their enrollment, that it just kind of perpetuates through the organization rather than, and maybe you didn't have that great of an experience. Well, maybe you can be the person that breaks the chain, that does things differently. Maybe you didn't get the support. Maybe you didn't get the help. But instead, maybe it's time for you to break the chain and attempt to create that kind of replication within your organization, because for sure you're going to make more money. You're going to create more success. You're going to have less attrition. You're going to have, everything's good about being a good sponsor, and everything's bad about being a bad sponsor. So short one today. That's all I've got. I got to go back into video production. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Just remember, there's more money in being a good sponsor than in a bad one. All right, we'll see you.